is Angela Ross. I am 48 years old. I currently live in Avon, Indiana.
I've given birth to 4 children, 3 are living, and my husband and I are now raising our grandson, who's 9.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, 6 kids.
But when I was 1, my parents sent me back to a city called Hefei in China.
We didn't have a lot of extras in the beginning.
In a very pretty much traditional Midwest type of family lifestyle.
Of course, I was a young mother. I was still in high school, and so I was trying to finish up my education.
I was born in Germany. I have lived in 9 different states.
My stepfather is an original Tuskegee Airman, which is the first black man who flew.
I was a tomboy. I loved cars, you know, like mini cars and stuff like that.
I grew up as an only child, and it was very unfashionable in that neighborhood to not have siblings, so it was a little bit of a rough childhood as well as a lonely one.
Being a woman, people just automatically assume, oh, she's dumb. Oh, she can't do that. She doesn't have work ethic. And
in Chinese families, there's just like an ancient or like a traditional sense of like favoring the male child, like favoring the boys. I have a younger brother, and he was also the younger child, so he got favored. So I kind of had to take on a role of like being the older like caretaker. Like we didn't really have like a sibling relationship. We had more of like a caretaker and like a child relationship.
I kind of feel like I'm just trapped because of being a young mother, young children, that puts a lot of blocks with what I want to pursue as a career.
So I had 3 children under the age of 2. At that point, one of us decided that one of us probably should stay home. I was making less money at the time, so I decided to stay home. I spent 8 years at home, which was a wonderful experience, and I'm very glad that I was able to do that financially. I did, however, when I re-entered the workforce, did have another challenge that people my age had more experience than me.
I recently lost my husband, and I've had to take on a different role. And if I can go back to talking about the importance of man, you know, the man is the head of the house as God is the head of the church. And I really do believe that. And my husband took care of our household. And now that he is no longer there, that is something that I have to do. And it's a lot to do.
At my job, I experience it. There's like some higher management, they're all males, and you know, you get like the slight touch on your shoulder, and they obviously don't do it to guys, and like it feels a little uncomfortable. You get like catcalled or even on the streets, and it doesn't make you feel empowered at all, but it's just like something you deal with. Like my mother was telling me, she constantly, it definitely was worse. Like she used to tell me like horror stories about her boss, like slapping her ass or something like that. And if that happened now, we could definitely, there are places we could go and there are people that we could talk to like hopefully get those people fired. But it definitely is normalized. I think it's fine if you just like hold it in, because if you tell them, if you like yell back, I don't think it's gonna help the situation. Like if someone were to come up to me and catcall, me yelling back to them, they're gonna be like, ooh, she's feisty, like, and it like adds another remark to it.
Guys thought it was okay to slap my butt in the hallways and say inappropriate things, and no one did anything about it. And it helps that I do a lot of student government, and so I put myself in a position of power, and I don't accept guys to touch me or talk to me inappropriately, and I just let them know what's up.
My father, when I was getting ready to go to college, when he expressed that he wanted me to be a teacher or a nurse, he was an attorney, and he never asked me, would you like to be a lawyer? And at the time, I really didn't consider it a lot, but looking back, I thought maybe that would have been something that I really would have been interested in. A lot of the misconceptions when I was growing up probably were that girls are a little bit weaker, maybe not quite as smart, don't give them as much to take care of, and that they can't handle a lot of situations, whether physically or emotionally, because I think women really are probably stronger than men emotionally.
If I was going to go into the ministry as a woman, that I had to be better than any of the men that went into the ministry, and that I also had to remember to always be a lady. And then in my own home, my mother did not feel it was appropriate whatsoever for a woman to go into the ministry. She felt that my mission work should be with my husband, my children, and my family. When I told my parents that I wanted to be an attorney, they told me, oh, a Christian woman can't be an attorney, so you can't do that.
Me staying home with my kids probably was not viewed by some people as a very important job. I view it as the most important job that I could have. I just believe strongly in that was my calling in life, to be a mom and stay home with my kids, and I just don't let it bother me. I just let people have their own opinions and know that what I'm doing is the right thing for me.
I think for a woman, less is more. And a lot of times, a lot of women tend to want to be kind of brash and kind of out there to prove that they are, as much as a man, and I don't think that's necessary.
There are some men that might be taken aback by a girl with a very strong personality. I feel like sometimes males can feel a lot more comfortable if they're with a girl that's a little bit shyer and just kind of the misconception of just smiling and nodding at as and just giggling and things. And then you hold your own, then they can be a little taken aback by that. And I think that's definitely a misconception that girls aren't as funny or aren't as witty or out strong or outgoing, or girls can't throw the parties in college and that kind of thing.
I believe that women should carry themselves as women. I don't believe that women should always have, just stay in the kitchen and be pregnant and et cetera, et cetera. But I believe that it's important for women to be the root of the family. I believe that looking at my mom and how she did with her children and raising us to just be better people, I just feel that women, I think that a woman puts a precedence in their home, and that it's up to that woman to hold the standard. Not putting men down, but I just feel that women have a higher arc than they tend to weigh on, and that they should really look at their value systems and what's important, and make sure that their family and their children receive everything that they need.
I do tend to laugh a lot, and my mother informed me that godly women should not laugh as much as I did. Any rules that should be imposed on women today? Only the same rules that are imposed on men.
I had a yellow room, so it was very gender neutral. I think I wanted that too. If she wants to have action figures or if she wants to have princess dolls, either one she wants, and I'll just completely let her be her own person.
You're a woman, you need to have children. You're a woman, you need to know how to cook, you need to know how to clean, just a basic barefoot and pregnant kind of situation. And that's not true. Women, especially nowadays, have made great strides to just a better life and bigger goals than just being a wife.
As a woman, it's important to be to know that you can be independent, first of all, to know that you can do things on your own and you don't feel like you need to have validation from other people. I guess being considerate, being loving, being caring, thoughtful, and supportive.
I think being a woman means having high standards for yourself and goals and hard work to achieve those, whatever your goals may be, whether it is being a mother or being the best at whatever you're doing.
I think a woman, to me, is a lot of things. She wears a lot of different hats. She has to be a doctor, a lawyer, Indian chief, and so forth and so on. And there's a lot of strength in being a woman.
To me, being a woman is a positive characteristic. It's something that we need to expound on and set higher standards and let everyone know that we can do everything and achieve everything that anyone else can do.
We are phenomenal. I mean, we can do 10 things at one time. We bear children. And our bodies sometimes go back to the way they were before we had the children.
To me, being a woman is when you can look at where you are in your life and think, I've done well. People look up to me, and being a role model.
We do, as women, have a unique creativity about us. And that's how I see myself as a woman, as being a mentor, a role model, a creative force in my world.
Strength, courage, integrity, and positivity.
To do what you feel like you're being called to do, and to not have any regrets, and to stand up for what you believe in and do what you love to do without caring about what anybody else thinks about you.
I am beautiful. I am everything God wants me to be. And I will always show that to my womankind, because we just got it like that.